Going on, y'all? Welcome back, episode 6 of the walkthrough. Before we go do anything else, it's going to change it to daytime. So we have cleared out lower limgrave and central limgrave. It's time to move on to upper limgrave. So the way I like to do this, the way I have it planned for the walkthrough is it's a bit weird, but it just works out the best. So all this stuff over here we're going to save to the end, and it's really because this one Evergel fight's pretty tough. I know it's going to be tough for newer players, so what we're going to do is we're going to go up here, do all this stuff. Then we got a lot of stuff to do out through here and do all this. Then we're going to jump all the way back and just do everything up here. Reason being is if we do all this and we can get, 1, 2 more levels in the health, maybe, it'll help out a little bit. So that's what I'm hoping. But either way, like I said, the first thing we're going to be doing is going from War Master Shack straight on over to this little Coliseum. Now doing this, we're going to get invaded. We'll be able to go and pick up the Hammer Talisman. So the Hammer Talisman is more of a PvP talisman in my opinion. It causes people to take more stamina damage while blocking. So if you're holding a shield, and someone hits you, you're going to have more stamina come away, which means you're going to break your stagger faster and get critical attacked. That's why I think it's better for PvP. There's a lot of enemies who don't really use shields, so they might not use them that way, right? So because of that, that's what I think PvP. But I mean, it could be used in many situations. So this guy's going to be using fire, a really big mace, the Great Mace. So let's use some fire of our own, and this fight's already over. So, there you go. Like I said, I'm going to make this playthrough easy as it possibly can be for us, and you guys, and everybody involved. Small Red Effigy, these are multiplayer items, right? So when it comes to multiplayer, guys, there's going to be a lot of items you could use for that. Invasions, online stuff. And I've never really been into that stuff, but I will say, maybe talk to people in the community if you want to do that. They have their own little, guidelines and stuff like that, that you might want to go over. I mean, because there's differences. From invasions, it's like a no-rule type of situation, right? You're invading people, so do what the fuck you want. But when you have duels and stuff like that, don't be a cheap asshole is what I'm saying. That's how you, like cheating and using glitches, that's how you'll get banned from the game. You'll actually be locked out and won't be able to play it. So I'm not just saying this because I care, because I don't do PvP. But they can, actually lock you out from having access to this game if you're just using cheat engines and shit like that. You know what I mean? So that's what I said. I'd talk to the community. Find out if you're trying to do duels, if you're trying to do invasions, and see what the basic rundown is of that. Because I've heard people online on Reddit actually tell me how, not tell me, but talking about how they were locked out of stuff because of what they did. So I don't know much about it, never did it, but I figured I'd mention that. So we're gonna go right up here. And all we did was follow it around to the right after going through the backside. This is gonna get you something really nice. So this is Golden Vow. Golden Vow is the Ash of War, and it's also an incantation. And it's going to give you 20% more damage and 15% more defenses. So it's really, really nice choice. You can Somber 1 there and drop off. So, you're going to need 25 faith to use Golden Vow. Like I said, it's a really good buff. A lot of damage, and you'll take a lot less damage. But if you don't have 25 faith, usually you can't use that incantation. But in reality, you can just put that on something like this, right? And I could be, alright, I'm about to go fight a boss. Switch to this, you just put on Golden Vow on a dagger. Then I'm buffing up with the Ash of War, then I just switch over to my main weapon. So, you could use it that way, and with that, you don't have to worry about putting all these points into your faith. And I'm kind of curious about something, because we have Reduvia. I want to show this off. This is something potentially we could do with our build. Might play around with it. Dual wielding daggers. Because they're really fast. Look at this shit. And that walk. That might be fun. I bet we'd be draining the shit out of people's health. However, daggers have never really been my thing. But, just another option, arcane option, I mean, just think about it. The Reduvia comes with blood loss. You could change the Ash of War on the other one and put more blood loss on it. So it only has 30 compared to 50 of our sword. But think about one sword swing, slow as fuck. And then this, so it's another options. I was thinking about kind of playing around with it. That's faith scaling, but doesn't do holy damage. Isn't that crazy? This thing do something I don't know about? No. Yes, that's the Astrophore for Reduvia. It very much go with our build. But I've never used it before. Don't even reach the stat requirements. Never been a dagger kind of guy, but you know, I would definitely consider doing it, right? Trying it out. Wouldn't be against it. But not really with the recommended stuff. So anyways, after you get that, if you notice when we left the War Master's shack, we did pass by a camp, but I didn't even bring it up. That's because we're going to hit this camp, but we're going to hit it from the top. So after you, and all we did from the beginning, War Master's shack, we went up here in front of the Coliseum, did the invasion, got the hammer talisman, then we shot, like I said, to the right behind, followed this around, took out the guy on the horse here, got your Somber One here, and this is where we are. So this is where the camp is. Now, if we just go into the camp, we'd miss this item. So this is the lance. Big-ass lance, big-ass thrusting weapon. But you don't want to miss anything. Now, we're about to go down to that camp, but we don't want to drop there. That'd be dropping right down the middle of the place. So you'd be surrounded on both sides. So, because of that, I would like to get on down to the left. I mean, left, right. I mean, we got down to the right, actually. But you know what I mean. It doesn't matter. Oh, I took off my seal. I forgot about that. Buddy, I need you to calm down. Just relax a bit. Right there. There you go. Where's it at? See, at the beginning I said, mage builds, you guys are going to have more range. While Faith is more like mid-range, you guys have long range. And this is why. As you're seeing, these incantations are better mid-range. I mean, what the hell's going on here? Really, you know? There's no way. Thank you. So anyways, just because I was being lazy. Now we're going to go in here. There's only like one real guy to worry about, and it damn sure ain't you. But if we go over here, there's going to be like one knight surrounded by dogs. As always, if you can get to the dogs first, definitely take those guys out first. Alright guys, buddy. There you go. Alright, now it's time to just, you know, clear it on up. These guys do have wild attack patterns. It is kind of hard to read that. And like I said with guard counters, make sure you get in the last hit of their chain attack, or you're going to go for a guard counter and get smacked in the face, you know, so. But with that, we're going to go over here, take him out, go in the chest, get another shield. Shield's pretty much the same stats as the starting shield for most classes. However, it does have more protection to fire and, was it fire and magic? Yeah. As we leave, just take him out. And one more dog ought to do it. Okay, so there's a few directions to go here, guys. And a few things going on with these directions. Now, before we do any of it, what we're actually going to be doing is just grabbing this side of grace right here real quick. Go and rest. That way we can just fast travel here, because, you know, we're going to be going multiple different ways. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and talk to Alexander. Alexander has a very long quest line that ends right before the end of the game. But it does start here. You know, so with that, we're going to go on over here. Go up the left side, and he's kind of stuck in this hole. So we're going to hit him with some heavy attacks. Usually it takes 2. To help him out. You got to get his dialogue first, or you might just kill him and fuck up. So I think we might do it with 1, though. Oh, damn. I thought we could with the upgrades. Like I said, it usually takes 2. Now he's going to give us some exalted flesh. Going to get off his dialogue.
Well, I thank you. And as a token of...
There you go, exalted flesh.
Once again, I am beyond upon this. I'd heard...
So he's just talking about Caelid. So, the Radon Festival. The festival is everybody teaming up to kill Radon. Because Radon was like a decent person, I guess, for an honorable person. He lost his mind, unfortunately. That's why we had to kill him. So, yeah, he lost his mind. He went crazy. So us killing him, it's not because he's, you know, some bad dude that's doing a bunch of fucked up shit. It's because he lost his mind. So the festival, that's what that is. Now, with the festival, they're trying to, his own people are trying to get him put down to, you know, have a warrior's death, so to speak. Come on, blood loss. There it is. There's nothing else down here. I did want to double check because I didn't remember anything, like anything else ever being down here. But I'm like, damn, there's gotta be. So I always like to have a second look. Well, thousandth look, I should say. So with that, I was going to drop straight down, get to the left. Not much, but just a little bit so we could get on up here. So there's going to be a catacomb right here, but we're going to pass that up. Because this is easily missed. So if we don't get it now, we might, you know, honestly forget to do it on the way back. So, you know, once we get out of the catacombs, let's go ahead and just get this taken care of. There's going to be a talisman up here that gives you increased damage while on horseback. And that is going to be the Lance Talisman. So you got the actual Lance, and this is going to be a Lance Talisman, and we got the Hammer Talisman. A lot of good stuff in this episode. Hell, I mean, honestly, by the time you guys leave Limgrave, you're going to have fucking, like, over 10 talismans. It's crazy. I know there's somewhere like 100 in the game, and you get 10 early on. Like, very early on. These guys do have a chance to drop their swords as well, so do keep that in mind. Okay, guys. That'll do. That'll do. Yes, I think they're like falchions. Yeah, falchions. So, if you get 2 of those, it'd be really, really, really nice for Dex build, just saying. Really cool with Dex Arcanes and Blood Loss, you're dual wielding. Keep that in mind, right? So from here, 1, 2. You can usually pop him before he even stands up. Looks crazy. Look at that. Kind of looks crazy. He just like jumps up from on his ass. We're gonna put him down. Now he's always gonna have a chance to drop his halberd, or the one with the great bow always has a chance to drop that great bow. I don't think they're like some crazy good weapons, but you know, I think they're more rare. They're more unique. So it'd be cool to collect. So from here, we're going to be going down and get on into the catacomb. Another really short catacomb. This might have another weapon we might want to upgrade. It's going to be a minute before we get all the upgrade stones, as we've already upgraded one. And I really regret not waiting to do this, because it is pretty badass. It's a katana, you know, to go well with Dex. But I don't believe we have enough. So I told you, be careful about your choices. We have enough 1s, don't have enough 2s, don't have enough 3s. So because of that, we're going to have to wait till we get plenty more, right? Before we do any other upgrades, unfortunately. I was just thinking about what went with our build, and I wasn't even thinking about this because we didn't get it at the start. We should have. So, the best way to do this, and I don't care to do it this way, but for the walkthrough, we're gonna, so go over here, we're gonna put on Sacred Blade, set it to Sacred. So these guys are weak to holy damage, so do keep that in mind. These skeletons. But using Sacred Blade will flat out kill them, like flat out. There is no second hit when they're on the ground putting themselves back together. You hit them one time, they're dead. That's it. And that's why it's going to be so useful. But you can only do this while the buff's active. So you hit the S4, and you see you did 1,500 damage, which is phenomenal. That's just because how weak they are to holy. But now that it's buffed, I'm hitting one time. With it being unbuffed, we're still getting holy damage on every swing, but it's not going to just kill them outright. So we are going to take the time, go through and actually put all these guys down, clear it all out, and there's a lot. It's gonna feel like they're keeping coming and coming and coming. That's just how, you know, this catacomb is. Alright, so from there, we're not going to go down. That is the way to progress. However, you notice the buff is gone. So when the buff is gone, it no longer will one-shot these guys, right? Because of that, Get the buff active again. Now still does holy. They're still really weak to it. You see you're doing good damage. But when it comes to them getting back up, they're going to do exactly that. There you go, don't have to worry about it. Now they drop a pretty good dexterous weapon too. There's a falchion and a scimitar, that's what they are. So there's your Uchi Katana. And we might slowly start bringing that up. We are doing Dex Arcane, so it would make sense. And we might be able to go farm up some threes and stuff too. Like I said, they're just straight up dead at this point. And you do got, you know, a bit of range. Like I could be all the way back here. It throws forth an arc. So. And when you drop down here, just make sure you have them all. They could obviously drop a bow too. And we actually need a bow for next episode. So if we don't get one to drop, we're going to need to go to the Round Table Hold and grab one. 1,200 runes. So let's make sure I have some. It's really important. It's actually for a certain secret weapon, if you will. Definitely hidden. I would consider it a secret weapon for sure. It's a holy strength faith great bow. Really cool. Really cool. Archery great bow. It's definitely very hidden, very secret. Extremely rare item, at least, you know. There is our boss lever. So there should be no one left. And yet there still is. Like I said, they just keep coming and coming and coming. Alright, it's time for the boss. The boss is a Black Knife. Now, Black Knife assassins are all women. She's really nimble, moves around, crazy moveset. I'm guessing for some kind of lore reason, she only has half her health, so that helps. But these things are crazy. Like they could actually get a backstab on you from the front. They like slip past you and grab you by like the back of the throat with their arm around you and stab you in the back. But like I said, they could actually do it from the front. That's definitely pretty wild, you know. Let's go on it. There's not much to talk about. It's just really wily moveset. We're doing good damage and stuff like that, so. It's real nimble. Oh no, I mean, you hit her and you're doing like 20% of her health every hit. So it's not too much to talk about with that, to be honest. Assassin's Crimson Dagger. Every time you do a critical attack, it gives you a little bit of health. And actually more health than you might expect. You know, it's actually pretty good. So one of the early ones I like using a lot once I have another spell or talisman slot, which we will have this episode, either this episode or I think next. So that's really nice, really cool. From there we got our first death root. We'll wait until we get one more though. So let's jump back over to Saints Bridge. If you do want to, you know, play around with some of the deck stuff, Katana, man, it's not a bad choice. It's kind of weird with the shield, but having two Katanas, dual wielding them is pretty powerful. I mean, it's not the worst thing with the shield. I honestly like doing a seal and a Katana, so, you know, we're firing off like quick rapid attacks, right? And then we can still throw out spells, you know what I mean? So I really do. I like it a lot. We're at 7,300, so it's going to snatch up the level. 27 leaves us 1,000 souls. I guess we could start working on this for like a backup option. Also has bleed, just like, you know, the flame burst. So a quicker, you know, quicker weapon, and we'll have a more beefy weapon. But we'll probably mess around with the Uchi for sure.
Well, I took you for dead. No matter, it's all the same. Lay out your arms then. I spoke with the girl. She has a gift, so I told her. I'm indebted. It was all work. I'm sorry I did.
We had to get that dialogue anyways, but I didn't mean to do that, obviously. Alright, we're gonna get up as high as we can. Alright, so that's the threes, but we're 3 too short, so it's gonna grab these first two. And it's at least up at what, +5, it's something, you know what I mean? For the early zones, it's not gonna be bad. But yeah, I do like, I mean, we're doing Dex Arcane. It just kind of makes sense, you know what I mean? Yeah, there's no need to put. I mean, we could put a sheath on it, but I'm pretty sure it has that, doesn't it? Yeah, it already has that stuff. I'm not gonna put Ash of War on because we could, without the Ash of War, we could put on Blood Flame Blade. If we put it to fire damage or something like that, it's not gonna work. So now we're going back to. I just got picked back up at State's Bridge, but what I was saying is we could go ahead and buff with Blood Flame Blade if we just keep it standard. This guy's just like headbutt eccentric. He loves his headbutt. Look at that. Just throwing off big blood loss with that. So, now we're going to grab Torrent. We're going to jump over the side here. Use that Spirit Spring going on down. These guys will like spaz out. The only way to actually do damage. Damn, I never seen him go that long. I'm going to just get a charge heavy. Heavy attack, you'll be able to get your critical with their attack. I did want to show off how to beat them because they're pretty formidable as far as, they're not formidable, they're resilient. And we do have to fight one in this cave we're about to go to, so I did want to kind of show that off. Now, we're going to jump on back here. And the cave's underneath us, but there's some crafting stuff we can pick up here. And we could drop down right here. Get your turtlenecks. Now we drop here and go in the cave. So I did tell you all the caves are pretty small in nature usually, right? This one not so much. This one's pretty big and spacious and open. It doesn't take long, but it's definitely big. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a bit different than the other cave we hit. Grab our side of grace. Alright, so there's gonna be pretty much, it's mainly just wolves. Wolves and bats for most of this cave, so not too bad, all in all. Go to the left, and there's not really much here besides like cave moss. And what we're trying to do to actually progress is we'll be going down. But as you drop down, there's just like little areas like this with some stuff. Just use your lock on if you can't find out where the wolves are. The alpha. I couldn't tell if he's white down here. It's so dark. So always look out for that. Obviously, if they're white, they're alphas, right? So do look out for that. Now we want to be careful as we drop, though. It's not that hard to get killed. So it's just our second drop. I think there's 3 altogether. We're gonna drop there. Drop there. All right. So to the right leads you down, but we do not want to go with items on the table. I mean, cave mod, I don't think we'll use it, but it does add up. And then go into the DLC eventually. We want to get all the crafting stuff we can get, because like I said, it does add up. You know what I mean? All right, now here, if you go straight there, that's gonna take you down. But if you did that, you'd end up missing something pretty good. So this is just a atria leaf, and it's just a crafting item, but they're actually extremely rare. Like, they're extremely rare. They're usually like in chests or hidden in, optional areas and stuff like that. So while they are meant for crafting, they're pretty rare to get. Get your cave moss. Besides the alpha, the rest of these guys are just like one hit here, one hit there. You gotta remember, this is our first zone, right? So that just leads you back up. That would have been the other route. So being at just a +5 is more than enough. Eventually we're going to want to get more upgrades, more damage. And we'll find more stones. We're going to find more 2s and find more 3s eventually and get this one up besides the other one. But it's still nice to have that other flame burst for, more poise breaking option. You're going to have many chances to get a few weapons up. Just early on, until about the back half of the game. Until about halfway, you're not going to have any chances. Because we don't have bell bearings yet. When we have bell bearings, we have unlimited amounts of everything. So you see, once you drop, turn around, go behind you, grab that stuff, and then we're just working our way behind the waterfall. Should we 2 more? Yep. Get your rune. Then we're, through most of this stuff now, guys. Now when we get here, we want to be very careful. It's so easy to overshoot this and land in the water and kill yourself. There is no swimming in Dark Souls. You can't do all, so you keep that in mind. Take them out. So if you wanted, you could just jump over to this little platform right here in the water and go straight to the boss, but we've been missing out on stuff, so we want to run, jump here, jump there. Alright, this is what I was telling you about. We were going to have to deal with this guy, so I was like, hey, let me just show you guys how to take him out. So remember, you can rush. Yeah, he already got his streak going on. But I said, if you could rush in and get that heavy attack, it'll eventually stop. There it is. It's actually easy to get a critical on for the most part. Alright, now we're going to stick to the left side, go on out, grab a multiplayer item, and then head on into the boss room. There you go. That's for like co-op, so if you're trying to do anything with co-op, you need to use those. They're consumables, so you got to get them. Alright, so we're fireflies, a good crafting ingredient. Alright, so this is just a golem. We fought some in the main world. Same thing as trolls, guys. Really, probably the easiest boss fight in the game. 1 heavy, 2 heavy, drop, critical in the chest, should be over after that. As you see though, nope, his weapon's weaker. For whatever reason, katanas don't do the same thing. 100 grid. Blue Dancer Charm. Is that the one for equip load? Let me check. Raises attack power with lower equip load. Yep. So now we got that. We are good to go. So let's jump back to Saints Bridge again. We have one more ruin to do, then we can head on out to the other, the very other end of the upper portion, which is going to be over here. This is the part we were trying to save, right? So. There you go. Here's a chance to drop that big ass helm. It's kind of goofy, but kind of cool too. Smithing 1, as we progress forward, there will be a merchant over here. There's one thing I would get, as far as like crafting stuff, and that's right here. I'll show it off first. So, pickled turtlenecks. Now that boosts your stamina recovery. So, same thing as this, as you see, temporarily boosts stamina recovery. So, it's obviously going to be nice to have one of those. Then it's got the halberd, which came with the Vagabond starter set. Or starter class, you guys know what I mean, starter set. Vagabond starting class. Really, we're just staying on that main road and going straight ahead. But there's that other structure you guys see on the map and we never got to. I don't remember anything going on with it, but there might be like some ruined fragments or, you know what I mean, something small like that. Yeah, I'm not really seeing much of anything going on here. And I never found anything in my own playthroughs or, you know, my notes for the walkthrough or anything like that. But still, you know, sometimes I'll just go, I mean, it's open world game. So sometimes I'll still just go through and double check myself because, I mean, as thorough as I am, I'm human at the end of the day. So anyone can make a mistake. So we're going to rest on up, and I'm going to change this to sacred, and we'll change it back later. We're about to fight undead enemies. So these are Tibia Mariners. Now you guys don't really need to guide for this. They're ghosts. They sit in a boat. They try to hit you with a paddle, splash water on you. They can summon dead guys. Usually you hit them once, they'll disappear. Oh, we didn't get them. But I mean, they summon, you know, skeletons. But I mean, it's not. You have to see, it's not nothing too crazy. It's actually extremely easy. Look at that damage because of holy. Say he's undead technically, so probably about to finish him right here. So there you go, Tibia Mariner. I think get you a summon of these dead guys. The dead guys are pretty good because, you know, if they get killed, they'll come back. They'll keep, you know, coming back to life unless the enemy hits them while they're on the ground. And, you know, they're not human. They're computer enemies. So they're not going to think to do that, right? Their AI just isn't going to, you know, catch on to that. And sometimes it happens. It's not intentional, though. Like, enemy will be doing an AoE. They might be on the ground. They might get hit. But it's not, you know, not a big chance of that happening. So from here, we're just going to be going around, making sure we have all the items. There's nothing big here. It's going to be crafting stuff, maybe like a room 1 or room 2. In fact, we can kind of just stay on torrent for this, to be completely honest with you. So we need 66 for level at this point. I never remember finding anything else here. There's like one little cool piece of scenery back here. It's like something you'll probably never go to or even really look at. But I'm going to show it off because I found it when I was taking notes. All my playthroughs never really went back here. But it's just right over here. It's a really cool view of the Erd Tree and surrounding things. No false floors or anything like that. Nothing really going on here. But back here, there's like this little deck rather. Get over here on this rock, and it just looks really cool. Like you're on the water, right? You're surrounded on that water. You can kind of see the Stormville Tower right there. You can see the Erd Tree across. That's actually the capital over there. I just thought it looked really cool. You know what I mean? Every now and then this game will just throw some scenery at you. It's just amazing. It's really just nice to, you know, take it in. But let's go ahead and finish this place up as we're pretty much there. Now, if you didn't use the portal to go to Caelid early, D will be over here kind of just warning you about dead enemies. Tells you what he does, and he tells you to stay away from the Tibia Mariner. And but, you know, Tibia Mariner's not a problem, obviously. But yeah, we didn't get that because at the Round Table Hold, he tells you the teleporter. We found it on our own, right? So you're going to need a Stone Sword key here. Now, this is what I was referring to, where I said don't pick a, you know, a Golden Seed starting item. It's kind of dumb because we're going to get a bunch, but get a Stone Sword key, and we can go, you know, trade in a Stone Sword key right at the start for a really good talisman. And this is what I was talking about. So this talisman's going to boost your stamina recovery speed. And that's really good for every build. I mean, even casters, you got to use stamina to cast, right? So Now that is done, we're going to jump on over to the Bestial Sanctum as we have not one but two death roots we can turn in. So as you find death roots, you are going to be giving it to Garank. And he's going to give you stuff. That's going to turn both.
I smell it feeding me. Tarnished, I shall grant feed me.
The bestial slaying, you're just like throwing gravel out at people. I don't know. Some people, I guess, when you get enough upgrades, they could actually do more damage once you think. When he does it, it's pretty powerful. But when we do it, I wasn't impressed. But he did give us a seal. He said, I'll grant the beast, or was it claw and eye? What he was talking about is this, the claw mark seal. So faith and strength, you're already getting incant scaling of 111. 31 plus your scaling, boost bestial incantations, which is what we get from Garank. So as far as strength faith, it's actually one of the best talismans in the game. It might even be the best as far as strength faith goes. And now certain ones boost certain types of incantations, but just all in all, based off scaling and upgrades, I think this actually is mathematically the strongest one for strength faith. Pure faith, that's one that's strong, the strongest one for pure faith, and you have the strongest one for ant faith, you know what I mean? And then you have one that kind of goes off all of your stats, which is pretty cool too. And obviously one for arcane, that's one we're going to be getting. But yeah, so it's definitely really, really, really good. Regular stones to upgrade it, so I do, believe it's highly worth it for strength faith builds if that's what you're going for. Then the eye. The eye is a quest item. It's gonna There's gonna be a message pops up on the bottom of the screen when you're Tibia Mariners to kind of let you know Deathroot is around. It'll say the beast eye quivers, and that's how you're around something of interest, right? So while we're here, now with all of that done, we are good to go. Jump back over to Stormhouse Shack. Only 36 minutes in, so I might be wrapping up this episode a little bit early, but just doesn't take that long. Let's rest till morning. Alright, so we will be going to the left from Storehouse Shack. Kind of going back down towards Gate Front, but instead we're going to hang to the right here. So we'll be able to actually go up on a cliff over here and get another summons, the Godric Soldier Ashes. We get summoned like 2 or 3 Godric Soldiers, so that's probably one of the best ones we have right now, besides maybe the Skeletons, that we actually have the mana to use. So let's go and grab that. Be able to get some magic grease. This isn't the challenging part I wanted to wait for. In that Everjoe, we have to fight a Crucible Knights. They can be challenging. I always tell everyone, hey, you should probably learn parries, at least a little bit. At least for Crucible Knights, it's the best way to deal with them. Even if you're not good at parries, I think they're pretty easy to learn. Probably one of the best guys to learn on. Every enemy has different parry timings, different parry windows, and this game makes you learn every single enemy, every single basic kind of enemy too. They're all different. They all have different timings, different animations. But the Crucible Knights is just the best way to deal with them. In fact, any player that's good at this game, even if they don't typically do parries, you'll see them switch over to a parry shield just for that fight. You know what I mean? It's just kind of how it goes. Anyone who knows, right? So, and that's going to be the best tactic for them. Now, for the walkthrough, I don't want to just suggest that because there's going to be a lot of people that don't know how to parry. But, it's kind of the best way, So everybody can fight them their own way, but I'm going to suggest doing parries. You can still dodge and get a hit here and there. His armor's so good, Blood Loss isn't going to work. Nothing really works. It's just slowly getting his health down. And that's it. No known weaknesses I can think of. I've never got Blood Loss off on him. I've had high Blood Loss bills. I think his armor makes him immune. I could be wrong, but I really do think that. There should be a golem around here. Damn. Yeah, there is. So get rid of him, so don't worry about him. Then we can kind of go on up the structure for an emote. And to talk about rainbow stones. the perfect place to do it. So you're going to see ruin fragments. I told you guys to craft, you know, rainbow stones. I said we'd cover that at some point. Well, now's as good a time as any. So if you went to item crafting, we went down here to rainbow stones. We're going to always just craft as many as we can. Later in the game, these are really useful. Because what they do is they're colorful and they're bright and they light up. So when we go through catacombs, they have trick catacombs, labyrinths, and mazes, and they're good to light back the path. So you kind of drop them at places you've been, so you know, hey, I've been here. I don't have to worry about it, right? Well, with that, there's also a second thing they do. So if you don't know if you'll survive a fall, what you can do is you can put on rainbow stones. These, you know, really good utility item, honestly. And what you can do is actually just throw it off the edge. So if it falls and does that, it's good to drop. Let's go over here. Let's drop it off this, see what it does. You're dead. You know what I'm saying? You're dead. And that's how it works. There could either, you know, you could either mark paths you've been to and help you navigate, or you can just kind of judge the fall distance of things. Now, I still think it's better to just, you know, get comfortable with how far you could fall and how far you can't. That's the best way. Did we get the starlight shards? I don't remember. We did. Okay. Starlight shards. That is an item you could trade in to one NPC for stuff. But what it really is a consumable that steadily restores mana, and it can be useful to a lot of casting builds. So, we're right here, so we'll take these assholes down. Ooh, I never changed my stuff back though. It's alright. I guess since this is stuck in holy, we'll go back to Bloodhound Fang for a bit. Probably have to wait to where both of these katana ain't gonna weigh much. Yeah. So for different enemies, different ways to, you know, handle things. Seal, shield, katana, and greatsword. I like that. Give us plenty of options. So we can go down here and get another talisman. This is going to be the arrows reach talisman. Now what this is going to do, if you're doing a bow build, it's going to give you more distance on your arrows. You know, when you fire up arrows. Damn, guys. You know what? So you come down, like I said, get your arrows reach talisman, and then Caleb, we have the arrow sting talisman, which is going to do more damage of your bows. Now, I don't know if they got it fixed, but I can say that there wasn't getting proper scaling on some arcane weapons, but more importantly, no bows were actually getting proper scaling when this game first came out. It's been quite a long time, so they might, you know, they may have fixed that. You know, it's been, like I said, it's been quite a bit. So we're gonna try to do this for the extra damage, but like I said, switch to parry shield. So this is how I suggest fighting them, guys. No, oh. Just getting parried and wearing them down. You cannot do this. Just get a hit here and there and dodge through it. Make sure you're rolling through those attacks. You know, just get hit where you can. Now, normally when you go to heal, that's going to trigger him to attack, to keep that in mind. When you get him below half health, he'll kind of shoot up in the air. Like I said, you can't parry. Just dodge around and get him that way. So this is your best window to heal. We can just fly at you, easy enough to dodge, that gives you a window to heal. That's really big distance. That, when he does a stomp down first, that is a very last minute parry. And it's his special, put him down. It's not too bad, but if you're not familiar with the fight, it can be a bit, you know, a bit challenging. But yeah, I mean, you can just block, guard, counter, dodge around, and put them down like that. But it's most definitely a challenging fight. This early on, for sure. For sure. Probably the hardest fight that you've had thus far. Hands down, in my opinion. Now, we have like every fucking thing done. Every single thing I could think of. We're sitting here at 45 minutes. I'm trying to see if I can fit something else in, but there's just nothing left to do. We have two nighttime bosses, the Tree Sentinel, and then also Margit, and then we have the Underground. But I want to try to save that for next episode and do just boss rushes and then the Underground, and we can try to like just fit all that into one episode to fill it up. I mean, we're at 45 minutes, so that's good with me. I try to go for an hour, but just sometimes you can't, right? So to prepare for next episode, the first thing we're going to do is go to Gill Lake North. We're going to go after both of our nighttime bosses, then Margit, then the Tree Sentinel, I'm going to try to structure this walkthrough in this way in general, and that's just, least hardest to hardest, right? So that means that would be, Knight's Cavalry, then the Deathbird, then Margit, then the Tree Sentinel. And then we'll be going to the Underground and actually getting the Catalyst we're going to use for the rest of the game for our build, which would be quite nice. So either way, we are going to wrap up here. You guys stay tuned. We'll be back for the conclusion of Limgrave and getting ready to move down into the Weeping Peninsula.